in Berlin this evening.
61.
For this first game, a decent encounter. Ryan Meikle, one of the rising stars, the barber of Ipswich, taking on Justin Pipe, whose career has been on something of a slide for the last couple of years. A man who's won plenty of PDC titles, including one on the European Tour. But he's a man who looks like his glory days might be behind him, Dan.
Well, it's certainly a troubling time for the Force, who curiously walked onto back in
93.
I don't know when he changed his walk-on tune. Wasn't that his old mate Gary Anderson's former walk-on tune?
I've heard it a few times, but yeah, I'm not quite sure, because if you're going to call yourself the Force and then drop the walk-on song of that name, it doesn't really make sense. So I wonder if he's changed his nickname as well, without telling us. Everyone's changing names, aren't they, on the stage this afternoon?
Now then. The first 180 on the Euro Tour of 2019, and we did not have to wait very long.
Well, the buses have arrived early in Leverkusen. Didn't have to wait long, and then two came along. And Meikle's not going to follow up the maximum with a huge 167 checkout.
93. Justin, you require 80.
Well, the way that Justin's darts lie, well, he's going to look at double 10 anyway. Wouldn't have been scared of going for tops after two single 20s. And that looks like a help to him.
Yeah,
he can just lay it on the top, or slightly to the side, and Justin Pipe gets the first leg on the board. Justin Pipe, of course, the winner of the very first European Tour event back in 2012 in Austria. Qualified for this by beating Robert
60.
Owen and Stephen Bunting. Only dropping 4 legs across those two games, but the real standout game from qualification, perhaps over all the qualifying tournaments that were held for this, was Ryan Meikle beating the UK Open champ Nathan Aspinall.
100.
Pipe piles in his second maximum. That's 3 in the first leg and a bit. This might be 4. The barber, there's so much room for him. So much room for him. What a start to the Euro Tour. But yeah, Ryan Meikle played Nathan Aspinall. Aspinall averaged 108 against him. And he got battered 6-1 because Meikle averaged 107 and a bit.
140.
What a start indeed for the European Tour action this year. Yeah, we've seen in the last few months, well, in the last year or so, so many players becoming contenders for major titles. Nathan Aspinall, actually, at the World Championship, said that Rob Cross winning that the year before started it all off. Everyone believes now. It's just spreading through the field. We looked at the draw for this tournament, and yes, Michael van Gerwen is in the field, but he's in a very, very difficult section of the draw, and there are many runners and riders with designs on taking this first European Tour title of the year. And Meikle get his first leg on the board here, because another in there, or one above or below, like that, gives him a dart at the bull.
105.
Not far away. Pipe took out the 80 with little bother in the opening leg. One more needed for him. Okay, 9 scored, 72. Could go double-double. Well, I mean, you can see he was attempting to go 2 double 18s, and there was just no conviction in that whatsoever.
Couldn't decide whether to pass or shoot, and did neither. And now Meikle can level on double 6.
13.
Can, but he doesn't. 36. And so Pipe, having been woefully far away from the double 18 in his first attempt,
on the second leg, just
back where it needs to be.
The leg is just
Second time of asking. 2-0 to the Force. mentioned the UK Open. Nathan Aspinall winning that this year. It was the UK Open in 2017, 2 years ago, where these two last met, and Justin Pipe whitewashed
41.
Ryan Meikle. At the moment, the early signs are we could see something similar, because Meikle's averaging 100. Pipe is averaging 107.
84.
Last year, the European Darts Open was won by Michael van Gerwen, the top seed, beating the number 2 seed, Peter Snakebite, right in the final. If we see the top seed face the number 2 seed in the final here this weekend, it will be MVG against the Diamond Ian White. It is the Diamond Ian White who faces the winner of this one.
This pair I've met a couple of times before. Pipe winning both of those meetings, including a 6-0 whitewash last time out. A UK Open match in 2017 in which Pipe averaged 102 and change. But Meikle kind of knew what to expect. And he's getting something similar so far. Ranking meetings, rather. They have had a meeting and a qualifier for a Euro Tour as well, which Meikle did win.
87.
Yeah, well, that's it. There was that 6-0 whitewash. The other two games have both gone last leg deciders. So it's still early days in this one. Well, he kind of gambled there, because gone down from the 19s thinking if I hit a treble I'm going to leave a finish, whereas other players might have stayed 20 and then look at the bullseye of 25 to make sure they leave at least 170. Now as it is, Justin's last start in the treble means he's got a very, very makeable finish for a 3-0 lead, and Meikle can do nothing about it right now other than apply pressure.
Yeah, Meikle missed 3 darts to level up in the last leg, including the one that moved the ball wire for the 130 checkout, but now he finds himself facing the prospect of being 3 legs behind, because Pipe has just managed to find the big 13 and now looks down for double 10 and finds double 10, and Meikle finds himself with a mountain to climb. Yeah, just to come back to what we were mentioning before, to give this tournament a little bit of preview, that top quarter of the draw,
it's insane.
It is incredible. We've got Mervyn King taking on Jason Wilson today. Glenn Durrant's also in that part of the draw playing today. Christopher Teichke's in that part of the draw playing today. And then the seeded players in that section are Michael van Gerwen, the world number 1. Jermaine Watermena, who's had a fantastic start to the year. Michael Smith, the World Championship runner-up, and Gerwyn Price, who is arguably the form horse in 2019.
Yeah, that's just one quarter of the draw. If you expand it to the rest of that half, to include other potential opponents for MVG, you've got 2 titles this year for Dave Chisnell, he's in there. James Wade, who was, until, 8 days ago, top of the Premier League. You've got Joe Cullen, who admittedly has been playing dreadfully at the start of this year, but always seems to turn it on the European Tour, has been talking about how much he's relishing the opportunity to get on that Euro Tour stage again. And Mensur Suljevic, who we know is a Euro Tour demon.
57.
And that's just the seeded players. There are other unseeded players in there as well, all dangerous. Vincent van der Voort's had back-to-back quarterfinals on the Pro Tour the other weekend.
Yeah, this pair, or at least whoever wins the match, will be delighted to have avoided that half. But we have witnessed on the Pro Tour this year that there is, apart from the odd name that we've just mentioned, just see if Meikle decides. I think he'll decide to stay there. Yeah, there is not much consistency. We're seeing different names weekend in, weekend out, reaching the latter stages of tournaments. Will that be the case here? Pipe's going to pile it on after Meikle's left double 12 after 12.
438.
And you would feel he has to hit.
Well, he had problems on double 12 and double 6 earlier. Has he got the same problems here? Oh, my word. Well, I was about to say he's got at least an extra dart in his hand, but he doesn't now because he's bust it by going into the double 13. And this could be 4-0 and a double break. And the force is taking a firm stranglehold on this game if double 8 goes.
44.
Well, a reprieve for Ryan Meikle, who has had trouble on the outer ring so far. A bust in the previous visit gets him back there. Now he's going back to the horror show. He was not far off doing the same thing again. Down for double 3.
21.
And it is a real mess for the barber, who I hope is a bit more precise with the scissors than he is with the arrows.
Game shot the fourth leg, just in time.
Well, it might
Fifth
not
leg
be
is
long
just in the throw first.
before Ryan Meikle is heading back to Suffolk. Because at this rate, 0 from 8 on the doubles. The scoring has been good. That's the thing. I mean, if he'd finished like Justin Pipe had finished, then he'd be up at Justin Pipe's sort of average at the sort of 97 kind of mark. Because he's been right there with Justin in terms of the scoring part of the game. It's just that he cannot finish at all. There you go. In fact, first 9, he's superior with visits like this. Just like that. Third 180.
With all the 8 darts that he's missed at double have been on his own throw. Could, and perhaps will say should, found himself level at 2 apiece here, but instead finds himself 4-0 down to the force.
Well, just by, I don't know, when they met back in 2016 in a Players' Championship event before the Grand Prix, Pipe won it 6-5, so he evidently won the last leg. Don't know if he won the penultimate one or the one before that. He might have come from 5-2 down and won it 6-5, but let's just give him the last leg there. Justin Pipe is on a run of having won 11 consecutive legs against Ryan Meikle, admittedly over a 2.5-year spell. But Ryan Meikle may not even remember what it's like to win a leg of darts against Justin Pipe right now.
It might feel like he's been on the stage for 2.5 years.
100.
The way things are going, he could throw at doubles for that amount of time and still be struggling. Strange old game, darts.
You know he's going to take out the 1-4-1 now, don't you?
Oh, yeah, I mean, it's absolutely no
bound to happen.
$129. Right, 141.
Does get Justin to a finish.
Wrong side of the treble 20 bed. The Pipe will have the chance to go 5 ahead, but 155 is a big ask.
155.
It is on, however. Treble 19 the next target. But what Meikle's left? He's got no chance anyway, Justin. You don't have to hit it. And he hasn't. So Ryan Meikle now, if at first you don't succeed, try and try again.
Well, he had options. He didn't have to leave this.
Well, perhaps he wanted to exercise a few darting demons, but he can't seem to shake them off. Shake them off, Ryan. And he has, finally. A sigh of relief for Ryan Meikle. Well, fair play to him going that route.
Odd as this game is, Ryan Meikle may not miss another dart at double in this match, and he might be pinning double 12 and double 6 all the way to victory.
Well, as he's proving with this visit here, apart from the disastrous doubling, it is a decent display from the Ipswich man. As he racks up a fourth max, will Pipe start to feel the pinch?
80.
The trebles are not a problem for this young man, who is only 22. Still playing development tour stuff. He's won one this year. In fact, he's won a development tour each of the last 3 years, Ryan Meikle.
Yeah, he has had some big results in the professional ranks and big moments, 9-dart finishes and the like, but not really any massive runs.
60.
144, and he's got plenty of time to do it.
He's going to need another visit at least. I've got a feeling that Ryan Meikle was the beneficiary in Risa one year, along with Jordi Meikle, of getting buys, and he made the final day of a Euro Tour event. It would have been the International Darts Open, where both MVG and maybe Brendan Dolan withdrew, and Meikle and Meikle were given buys through their second round. Certainly something along those lines, and we should dig that out, because I think that may be Ryan Meikle's best run on the Euro Tour. Tops for 4-2.
34.
Well, he would expect to return. And he will return. Yet he'll be well aware that anything could happen
43.
with these 3 darts. He'd hope to use just one. But he is going to need more. Double 10 now.
Well, it was a bit of a struggle at the back end of legs for Ryan Meikle, but this game might well be changing, because the bonus for him, sometimes if one part of your game is good and the other part is bad, the bad bit can infect the good bit, and it all goes to pot.
174.
174 for Justin to add to the 2 180s that he's already pinned. Yeah, he did make the final day of the International Darts Open in 2016, Ryan Meikle. As he had a bye, supposed to play Michael Van Gerwen in the second round, and then was beaten by Jordi Meikle, who went on to make the quarterfinals. Jordi Meikle himself had a bye against Daryl Gurney, having beaten Brendan Dolan in his first round game. But more importantly, Justin Pipe has gone 174, 180, and left 147. The Euro Tour, the greatest tour in professional sport, played by just paucity, lack of 9-darters. Could we see one in the very first game of 2019?
No, we will not.
No.
But it was nice while it lasted.
89.
But in the grand scheme of things, Justin Pipe, having lost the previous 2 legs, has just made life a lot easier for himself, as long as he goes on to finish this off. Because even if Meikle fills this up, it would still be a long, long way behind. No 9-darter, but this could be an 11-dart leg. And that's what it is, and Justin Pipe now just needs one more to move into the second round, the Saturday, and that tie with the number 2 seed Ian White.
Well, look, Justin Pipe is averaging 98 and is in 50% of his doubles. That is more than handy. And if he can replicate this level of performance, if he can get this win under his belt and then replicate this level of performance, the number 2 seed Ian White has got a problem. Because this is the sort of stuff that Justin Pipe was throwing on a regular basis when he
97.
was voted the best player on the Pro Tour, when he was picking up titles left, right and centre, and went to the Players' Championship finals as the #1 seed a few years ago. Sort of stuff he was doing when he won very first European Tour, the Austrian Darts Open in Wiener Neustadt in 2012.
They're now ranked 44 in the world rankings, Justin Pipe. He was a man that was on the brink of... Did he reach a top 10 at one point?
Yeah,
I think he snuck in there about number 9.
Pretty sure that he did. That, of course, was when we had 8 men in the Premier League.
Pipe for the Premier League, is that what you're going to say, Dan?
Well, there was an argument, certainly at the time. 3-time major semi-finalist Justin Pipe.
Well, if it had been the days of contenders, the halcyon contender days of 2019, maybe Pipe would have had a pop.
Possibly. Did they play in Exeter back then? Weren't they back? Yeah, no, I think they probably did. We're not going far enough back that they were playing in the
98.
Glades Arena in Kidderminster and the Sands Centre Carlisle. Certainly weren't playing in Berlin in front of 9,000 fans. Or Rotterdam in front of a similar number. That's the doubleheader next week.
60.
As Raymond van Barneveld looks to keep his hopes alive of this final glorious Premier League campaign.
Yes, Raymond's resurrection. Gathering momentum.
94.
He'll be travelling around now, I assume. Raymond van Barneveld has a meeting with Steve Beaton tonight.
Yeah, curiously, Barney had flown back to the Netherlands and is driving over here. He's left the country to come back into the country today.
140.
Why? I could not tell you.
Ryan, you require 46.
But I can tell you, if Meikle doesn't take out the 46, it might be the end for him.
Not his chosen double. Double 9. And another Meikle miss. Means that Pipe can seal the deal here and now.
Oh my word, that is a shocking dart. But he still gets one for the match and double tops the target.
40.
Should have had 2 match darts.
Ryan, you require 18.
And no excuse for Pipe to be missing left or right there, because the way his darts lie, he can just go over the top of him anyway. He doesn't have to put it to one side.
Good point. Good dart from Meikle. But yeah, the reason that people do miss is because they're so scared of blocking the double top bed. Not a problem that Pipe has.
If anything, it's a good guide for Justin Pipe. His dart's literally sort of below the perpendicular. It's like a sort of ramp going up to his target area.
95.
Well, can Meikle ramp it up? And pit Pipe at the post. Match dart miss, should have had more.
58.
The stat that will stand out, and we're not sure where it will end, but right now, Ryan Meikle has thrown 7 more darts at double than the man he trails 5-3.
99.
Something akin to the kind of stats that you produce, Dan.
Liked it, it's good stuff.
Kind of meant. Kind of percentage that you produce.
60.
Actually, it's better than that.
That is also true. That is a perfect dart for Pipe. Just a big tray of tungsten to lay the 3rd dart on.
140.
Just a touch high. But still down to a finish after 9. And that's been a common theme in this game, because the scoring from both men has been good. You're going to have to score like
60.
some kind of a monster. You're going to win a game with 16% doubling average, and that's what Ryan Meikle has right now. There's going to be more match darts coming in for Justin Pipe, you feel, over the next minute or so. It's just a case of how many and can he take them.
47.
Could have been better.
Yeah, that score of 47 means it perhaps might not be as many as he would have hoped, but still might have half a dozen, or still will have half a dozen. And the rest, at this rate...
81. Justin Uruguay, 120.
Well, let's go back to the point in the previous leg. The Shanghai shot. It's a perfect finish for Pipe.
Should be, because that's a little ramp up to the treble 20. And now it's that double top again. He's missed it once. We'll give it a zoom.
100.
He missed it in what appears to be exactly the same position. Double 10 has been his friend a couple of times in this game.
Justin Uruguay,
Plenty of
20.
time to seal the deal still. Double 10, will it be his friend again? Moving in from right to left.
Game
And
shot.
Justin
And
Pipe
match.
does finish the
Justin
job.
Pipe.
Ryan Meikle got himself in trouble with all those missed starts at double in the match, and Pipe cleaned up to move through to the second round of action, where he will take on Ian White tomorrow. Pipe wins 6-3, and we'll be back in a few moments with more action as Pavel Jerkel takes on William Borland at the European Darts Open.
Un applauso für Ryan Meikle.
Und in der zweiten Runde steht the fourth, Justin Pipe. Justin, congratulations. Phoned it up, it looked like it was going to be quick, and then he came back. Were you worried for a second?
No, I'm never worried, and neither is Ryan. You know, 4-0 up against Ryan's really good, but Ryan missed a lot of chances to let me in and go 4-0 up, and you know, lucky enough I took them, and Ryan didn't. If Ryan had gone 4-0 up, my head's in his shed at the moment, I would have been gone out of that door, so, you know, hard luck to Ryan.
Ja, ob er sich kurz Sorgen gemacht hat, 4-0 ist er ja vorn gewesen, dann kam Ryan Meikle zurück auf 4-2. Er sagt, er hat sich keine Sorgen gemacht, Ryan macht sich auch keine Sorgen. Sagt, wenn er nicht so viele Chancen auf die Doppel hätte liegen lassen, dann hätte es für mich auch ganz anders ausgehen können. Next round, the number 2 seed Ian White awaits. He's in form. What do you think about your chances there?
Don't really care, to be honest with you. Nothing bothers me. I beat him 6-1 here last year. He doesn't care what I do, and I don't care what he does, so we just get up here and play darts tomorrow.
In der nächsten Runde spielt er gegen den an 2 gesetzten Ian White. Wie er da seine Chancen einschätzt, sagt er, interessiert ihn gar nicht, gegen wen er spielt, und Ian White interessiert es auch nicht, was er spielt. Er konzentriert sich da einfach auf das Spiel und möchte das Beste rausholen. Applaus für Justin Pipe.